almost 20 pounds because I didn't eat anything.
That's awesome.
Right.
Well,
We're
not really,
live
but cool. What's up?
now. How do we do this again?
Just like this.
Okay.
Talk. What are we talking about? Glad to have you back, Dale. Missed you. I'm glad
wait till one person joins. Hold on. I'm gonna wait till one person joins.
We hope one person joins. If not, it's gonna suck. 20 minutes of just us sitting here, just not saying a single word because.
There, one person. Bam. I think that's probably me, actually.
Yeah.
It's okay. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Eat Sleep Fantasy Football Podcast. My name is Dale. Thank you for joining us. It's been a while. I'll get to that in a minute. We definitely need a Dale's Dogs episode. I agree, Facebook user.
That's Rob.
What's up, Rob?
Rob Midson.
Good old buddy of mine, Rob Midson. Guys, it's been literally a long time since I recorded. Clayton's been holding it down. I hope you guys have been listening to the Fantasy Football from Up North podcast, probably the best podcast in the world as far as fantasy football goes. So make sure if you guys aren't subscribing to the Fantasy Football from Up North, make sure you're checking that out. Clayton, so I just did an episode with Clayton a couple of minutes ago. I'd never seen on this podcast, but for some reason, when we get on his, he spews all kinds of stats and figures, and he knows everything. And when you get on this, he's like, Dale, why don't you just tell me what to do?
I told you because you lead the way, and I just I piggyback off you. And
yeah, but you were rolling last podcast, and now you're and now you're like, oh, you just tell me. Anyways,
hey, buddy,
we are.
I'm just happy we came to agreement with we had a feud. That's why we haven't been on air. We've been fighting.
I wanted to look. I told you I'd give you 50% of the merch and 20% of all Facebook podcast revenue.
I'm still waiting for my cut, though, man.
Sorry,
don't get me started.
I'm just gonna kick you out. I have a feeling we're talking about the same thing. The Bob Menery stuff going on. That's crazy.
That's wild. That's crazy. Yeah.
Anyways,
he's on a break now. He's on a break.
I saw that mental health break. Yeah. Good for him.
Good to talk to people.
Yeah. So anyways, guys, we do have a good episode, but we're going to talk some rest of season rankings. If you guys want to hear some stuff about waiver wires, make sure, again, Fantasy Football from Up North, I'll be posting a league description and the podcast description so you can get some waiver wire info. We're not going to talk too much about waiver wires today. We are going to talk about some rest of season rankings. I think that's going to be fun. Before we do, I know, look, I got probably 5,000 messages. Where's Dale? Well, how come he's not around anymore? He hasn't recorded. I haven't even been on Facebook. Here's some crazy stuff. About 4 weeks ago, I woke up in the middle of the night, cold sweats, vomiting like crazy, peeing blood. It was horrible. Ended up, I got a kidney infection. Had to go to the doctor. They tried to laser out the kidney stones. They couldn't. I had to go to the hospital to put a stent in, and then I had to go back to the hospital to get the stones out. Then I had to go back into the doctor to get the stent taken out. So that's been a lot of fun. The doctor, I've had stuff stuck up my penis several times over the last few weeks. I'm telling you, look, guy or girl, whoever, you don't want that. I don't wish it upon my worst enemy. That much irritation going in and out of your pee hole is not fun.
I told you exactly what it felt like, Dale. Did I not? What did I tell you?
What did you tell me?
I told you. I said, you asked if I ever had one. I said, no, but I said I couldn't imagine it being any different than getting a STD test when they stick a big giant
I'll tell you why
Q-tip up your pee hole and then whip it out.
I'll tell you why it's a little different. Clayton. Because they're just not sticking it in a little bit. They're going all the way. No, it's going all the way up into my kidneys.
Thanks.
Yeah, it was bad.
I'm saying the burning sensation as it's coming out.
Oh, right, the burning sensation. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I never had an STD, but I can imagine if it felt like I was peeing needles for like 2 weeks.
I never had an STD. I just one girl I dated way back in the day.
No judging, man.
What she said? She said before we do anything, go. So I did, and after that, I was like, I don't even want to sleep with this bitch. But anyway, we're live too. Oops, sorry, people.
So yeah, that's where I've been getting things stuck up my penis.
But I am glad you're back, Dale. miss that pretty face of yours, and miss talking football and talking to Eat Nation.
Yeah, no, me too. Me too. And I have a kid now. Yeah, okay, I'm back now. And then my third kid is due November 14th. So I'm guessing my wife isn't going to be okay with me taking, doing more I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going crazy over here.
But like I said, I'm gonna try to get a couple of our guys on our like Austin and Pat and stuff like that. I tried to line up an episode with Pat, didn't work out for either of us. So, but
No, it didn't work out for you. I think he was ready and you canceled on him.
he was yes and no. I said we can make it work, and he's like, I'm exhausted. So to me, but yeah, I guess it was my fault. But anyways, I'll try to hold it down, while you're, I guess, helping your wife with a baby.
Yeah, again, guys, we are on the Facebook private group, Eat Nation private group on Facebook. So next time we do these live episodes, make sure you have your notifications turned on, and we'll answer questions. We're also on our YouTube page, so we're live on YouTube. So subscribe and hit the bell on YouTube. We appreciate it.
Let's do it.
Anyways, all right. So Clayton, let's just talk. I'm going to just jump right into it. I have some rest of season rankings here. I'm going to kind of go on the fringe. Look, we know that you're gonna Patrick Mahomes, right? Like, duh, like whatever. But I want to go on some fringe guys that maybe we're not really sure. If you guys have, again, if you have any rest of season rankings questions, just post them here and we'll answer them too. But I'm looking at, I think I'm just gonna go down like position by position, right? Like looking at quarterbacks, some fringe player type guys, like for instance, what to do with Russell Wilson. And as far as rest of season rankings go, I have Russell Wilson ranked 13 among quarterbacks. So I'll tell you a couple guys that I'm going to have over Russell Wilson for the rest of the season. And tell me this is crazy, because I think these three names you're going to be like, this is crazy. At least two of the three: Trevor Lawrence, Kirk Cousins, and Matthew Stafford. I'm all taking over Russell Wilson the rest of the season. What do you think?
I'm not far off of that. I do like. I have Lawrence. I have Stafford right underneath Wilson. I do have Wilson at 16. But I do have guys such as Geno Smith ahead of him, Trevor Lawrence, like you said. Even like Tom Brady. Even, I mean, I know he hasn't been great, but he's starting to come around. But I just, I'm not overly impressed with Tom Brady, but I imagine he's going to get it together. But Russell Wilson is just, I don't know what to do with him, to be honest. I do have him in a couple leagues, and I almost wanted to bench him last week or after last week.
Yep, same. Jared Goff. We're not as high on Jared Goff as we were a few weeks ago, right? Or are you? Because I'll be honest, he's going to be in like that Carson Wentz and Zach Wilson area for me.
Yeah, I have him sitting at about 18 for the rest of the year. But due to schedule, like, I mean, if you look at how their schedule was, I can't say every game's been amazing or easy, but because they did play Philly week 1, followed by Washington. Unfortunately, they lost tight ones to Minnesota, Seattle, which I think both games are very beatable, and they got absolutely shit kicked last week by New England. So, I mean, now you look at their next 3 games. Generally, they got after this week, they have a bye. They're at Dallas, and then they play Miami, then they play Green Bay. Those 3 games, I'm not confident that they're going to be able to win them. But fantasy wise, I think it's going to be some garbage time points. But just, I don't think Jared Goff's going to be able to, put up, crazy fantasy points. Yeah. Because I think you're going to see more. Like, I mean, his fantasy points for the last 5 weeks: 16.5, 26, 15, 34, and then 7. So I think you're going to sit there on average. We talked about it on my podcast about are you okay with 15 points, 14, 15 points off out of your quarterback? I think that's what we're going to see moving forward.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Moving on to some running backs. We're going to go through Deandre Swift. He's been injured. He has his bye this week. How much does that change when you're looking at trading? When you're looking at, okay, the bye, it's early, so you're getting out of the way. But if you're looking at somebody like, I don't know, say Leonard Fournette. DeAndre Swift or Leonard Fournette rest of the season?
I'm gonna go with Leonard Fournette based on volume of what he's getting out there. He's not losing really any touches to anybody. I do have him as my QB 10 or my QB 10, my running back 10 for the rest of the season, and I got Swift down at 15. But just because you got the Jamal Williams factor in Detroit with getting those handful of touches or double digit touches a week, where you don't have that with Fournette. So.
All right. Somebody asked me how my penis was doing. Thanks for asking. Do you know who said that?
I can look.
That
was our boy Burrito.
Oh yeah. He's been very concerned about me lately. Not lately, just about my penis. He's not really concerned about me. I think he's more worried about my penis than anything.
Well, we didn't tell anybody that I woke up this morning and I almost thought I had a fucking heart attack. I went to the hospital. Remember I told you that story?
That's weird because when I went to the hospital, you were like one of the first people I texted and said, "Hey, I'm in trouble here." And then I have to wait until we do a podcast to hear that you almost had a heart attack.
Oh, should we go through? Let's go through your phone and say when I said, "Hey, Dale, call me." What time was that at, Dale?
It was like at 2.
It's about like 9 in the morning.
Yeah, maybe.
And you called me at like 2. Yeah, thanks for caring. What's up, Carl?
Why did Clayton have to make this about him? That's a good question because I'm the one that had kidney failures and kidney problems and infections and peeing out blood, getting rods jammed up my penis, and you're over here saying that you almost had a heart attack.
Well, Brito, I did that purposely for the sake of maybe you should reach out to me and see how my health is. Okay, Brito? Thanks.
Making it down for the wedding. I'm not making it down for the wedding. Unfortunately, I wish I was.
Whose wedding? Who's getting married?
Rich. He's in our.
Oh, right. Yes, that's what you guys. Yeah. You guys talk a lot of shit on that chat that we're in.
So it's great. We're all good friends.
This is good.
It's fun. Yeah, but Rich, I don't think I would fit in there. I don't think there's going to be a lot of people that look like me there. Probably like that.
Do all look Jack like Brito or what?
I'll be the only white American. There's a lot of Puerto Ricans and Cubans because it's a Miami thing, But that's okay. I'm not saying that's not why I'm not going to go. I'm not going to go because I just can't. Because my baby's going to be doing 2 weeks and I can't convince my wife.
Oh, but if it was a fantasy football convention, you'd be there in a second, Dale.
Hey, it's business, man. Anyways, so what were we talking about? Rankings.
Yeah, we just talked about
DeAndre
Swift and Leonard Fournette. Yeah,
I'm taking Swift still, right? Even a little banged up, he's okay.
Well, yeah, I'm taking Fournette. I said I have him as my running back 10. So, but by the way, Swift's been in. He's been dynamite. So,
if it's one thing I'm not, it's a racist. That's what rate. Can we bring people into this chat? No, we can't do that from here, can we?
I don't. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at it that much.
Yeah, anyways, okay.
I wouldn't mind having Burrito on again so we could chat.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sure everybody would love that.
Not everybody. All right. Some other running backs. Damien. Okay. Oh no. You know what? We didn't talk about Breece Hall this podcast, did we?
No.
Breece Hall is a top 24 running back. How high in the look? You're not going to be able to argue with me that Breece Hall isn't a top 24. But how high up the rankings is he rest of the season? Not week to week, but just looking at the rest of the season.
Rest of the season, I have him a top 12.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do.
Over like James Conner, James Robinson.
Yeah, Najee Harris, Miles Sanders, DeAndre Swift, J.K. Dobbins, and so on and so forth. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so I got some gold in my hands in a couple of my leagues. That's good.
Okay. Oh, just watching what he did last week compared to every week, he's just performing. Even his production is better.
But look, check this out. They are not going to be playing these people. They're not going to be playing this team every week. So you got to remember that, okay?
What happened last week with that? How do they
No
lose?
idea. Somebody said Kelsey.
I'm not sure. I'm trying to look to see if he scored.
No, he did something.
He did earlier.
All right.
Oh
My
yeah, he
feed is
did
all
score
screwed up.
twice.
He scored twice today?
Yeah, he's got 2.
Nice. There you go. All right, let's get. It's really hard during those live shows because I'd much rather talk to everybody in the live chat than do anything with a podcast.
No, 100%.
If you guys want to know more about how kidney stuff works, I'm your man. All right, let's do. Okay, so the rest of the season. Do you think Breece Hall is a top 12?
I do.
Wow. Okay. Breece Hall. So if I don't have Breece Hall in a league, I could trade. Would you trade Dameon Pierce for him? I think they're like probably back to back somewhere, right?
Yeah, I do have Dameon Pierce just based on team alone. I think I have him down. I think he's my running back 20. But I can see I did these rest of season rankings about just over a week ago. I do see him moving up a past. I do like him over a guy like Melvin Gordon, even AJ Dillon now. So I could definitely get him up ahead of about probably 16 or 17. So fairly close.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And so, all right, just moving down the list here. Tony Pollard. I don't see any value in him almost. I've never owned Tony Pollard. I don't think I've ever, since I've played fantasy football, I don't think I've ever had Tony Pollard on my team. And I've played up to a dozen leagues a year, and I have never, ever owned Tony Pollard. Is that my problem?
I don't think so. I still do think it's Zeke's backfield. Neither of them are really, that great. You look at Pollard's production as far as fantasy goes. He's going to be one of those guys that's either going to be he's going to get you 2 points or he's going to get you 15 points a week, right? So, I mean, I guess you got to pick and choose the next 3 games before the bye. We're looking at Philadelphia, Detroit, Chicago, Philly. That's going to be most likely, Philly doesn't give up any fantasy points to running backs. Detroit could be a shootout, so I guess he could get some run in it. But I think, and Chicago's been okay against running backs. But like I said, it's Zeke's backfield still. I still think Zeke's going to get going at some point, and I think he's going to be able to jump back up there into that fantasy relevant conversation.
Jeff Wilson or Tony Pollard?
Jeff Wilson.
I agree. Michael Carter or Tony Pollard?
That's tough. That's a tough one now because talked about it earlier that Carter still is getting those red zone looks. He's getting those goal line touches. But I guess that's the same thing what we were just talking about with Pollard. He's going to be, he could get you from 0 to 10, 12 points a game. If I have to, I'll tell you, going by my rankings, it's going to be, who did we say? It was Tony Pollard or who? Sorry, Michael Carter?
Michael Carter.
I have Pollard about 10 spots ahead, so it's going to be Pollard.
I think that's okay. That's okay. Looking at some of the stuff that Football Guys has kind of has some data for on Michael Carter, Breece Hall really dominates some of these metrics. Fantasy points from the goal line, fantasy points from the red zone, fantasy points on yards per rush, fantasy points on 3rd and 4th downs. Breece Hall dominates Michael Carter on all those statistics. That's pretty interesting.
Do you mind if I throw one at you, Dale? I want you to tell me what you're going to do with this guy. Cordarrelle Patterson, with the fact that he's on IR right now, do you see a guy like Tyler Algier being more valuable than him in this backfield and having more Patterson being that going back to that, the more the wide receiver role?
You're asking what basically I think about Tyler.
So basically rest of the season, where do you think Patterson is up there in, that top 24 range?
No, he's no, I mean, he's on injured reserve, right? Patterson, so he's not coming back till when? week 9.
I think that's what it was. Yeah.
I think week 9. So no, I mean that's your season, man.
Yeah.
I don't have. I mean, keep him in your IR and stash him, but I'm not. What are you thinking? What are you doing?
I have Algier right now. I do think Algier is going to do enough to maybe not necessarily take this job, but I do think he's going to do enough that he's going to finish as a solid RB3 rest of the season. Where I got a guy like Patterson, because of the games that he's going to be missing, I have him down there as a RB4, almost 5. Like I have him as my running back 46 for the rest of the year, compared to running back 31 for Algier.
Yeah. Okay. I bet you fantasy points wise, I bet you they end up pretty close, Algier and Patterson.
Yeah.
Right. I would take guys like Antonio Gibson, Darrell Henderson over both of them. Do you agree?
Say that again.
I would take guys like Darrell Henderson and Antonio Gibson over Patterson / Algier.
Henderson, yes, but not Gibson. I think Gibson's just going to fall further and further down. When Brian Robinson does come in at full health, they used him in. I mean, he didn't do much last week, but I mean, I think he had 6 carries. But coming back from getting shot, man, like what more do you want this guy to do, right? So
he had 3 times more carries than he has gunshot wounds.
There you go. But Gibson, I think the writing is definitely on the wall for him. I'm hoping he still stays fantasy relevant because I do own him in quite a few leagues, but as far as it goes, I'm not super high on him for the rest of the season. I just actually put it this way. I just traded him, which I mean, is perfect for me now. I was looking for a running back in one of my home leagues and I needed another one. So I gave up Antonio Gibson and a 3rd round pick for Ramondre Stevenson and a whatever it was, 6th or 7th pick or whatever. I'm all in on that league too, because just like the league we're in, Dale, like I'm winning, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, when you're winning, that's when you need to make though. People think, oh, I'm on the top of the leaderboard, I'm good, but that's when you need to make moves and solidify your spot. You gotta, you can't just make moves when you're struggling. You got to make moves when you're on top to keep it going. Like your roster sucks. You probably have the worst undefeated team I've ever seen in my life.
How is that? I got Josh Allen. I got Derrick Henry. I got Montgomery now. I got Mike Williams.
I think you started Romeo Dobbs or something.
No, I didn't.
No.
I started Ayuk this week.
Oh, yeah, Ayuk. That's who it was.
Yeah. You don't worry about my team. What are you 0-4?
I'm 2. No, I'm 3 and 2 now.
But I'm not going to
listen to my wide receivers. Mike Evans. Okay, who do you sit here? Tell me. Mike Evans, Deebo Samuel, Gabe Davis, or another really good one. Mike Evans, Deebo Samuel. Who do I have, Clayton?
I can try to find out.
Somebody really good. Mike Evans, Deebo.
You have Mike Evans, Sutton,
yeah,
Deebo, and Davis.
So who do you sit there?
Davis. I'm like you mentioned, Davis is going to have big weeks like that. But Dale, when you are out of it, hit me up in the DMs. Buddy, I still got a number one. I still got a number 1 pick available. Yeah, I'm hanging on to him for that elite running back. Talk about my team. How is my team that bad? Josh Allen, Derrick Henry. Yes, I needed a running back too because I had AJ Dillon, Mike Williams, Ayuk, Zach Ertz, Josh. Yeah, maybe you're right. I am lacking on the receiver side, but I got upside receivers.
Upside, yeah.
And they performing, bro. 5-0.
I know, that's what's killing me.
5-0, but I'm being humble because you started out this league 9-0, and you didn't even. That was bad.
It's bad. It was really bad. But okay. So I'm okay. This is the worst thing. I'll tell you a quick story. Last week, I got a text. I'm in this big league and I'm co-managing it with a friend of mine, and he calls me or he texts me and says, "Hey, I'm in a league. I lost Trey Lance a while ago. This guy wants to give me Brady for Ken Walker." I said, yeah. If you don't have a quarterback, that's a no-brainer. Like,
Yeah.
you needed, he said, and he goes, yeah, there's no other quarterbacks. I said, cool. I didn't know he was talking about the league that we're co-managing together. And so he accepted the trade. I got the alert, and I looked back, and we had Matthew Stafford, and we already had 2 quarterbacks. And so he got Brady on top of that, and then he lost Kenneth Walker last week, and now we don't have Kenneth Walker. We would have been sitting pretty.
No, Kenneth Walker sitting. You got. You're saying
We traded away Kenneth Walker.
Traded away. Gotcha.
Yeah, and got a quarterback that we didn't even need.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
By the way, Kelsey's got 3 TDs today.
Does he?
Yeah, he's just lighting it up.
Dang. I traded Kelsey for Cortland Sutton and James Conner. Shouldn't have done that.
I'm getting a little nervous because I'm playing Riley in a league that, I'm going to win, but I was up 52 on him. Now it's only 25, so Mahomes better settle the F down.
What else? I think that's all we got. You want to talk about some wide receivers really quick, and then we'll get out of here?
Oh, sure, yeah. What do you got?
All right, I'll tell you right now. I'm looking at my list. All right. Okay, this is a fun one. Christian Kirk. He's not as good as he's playing, right? There's no way he's going to be able to sustain what he's doing. So Christian Kirk, right now, I'm not sure if he's in the top 12 wide receivers rest of the season for me. It's really hard for me to put Christian Kirk ahead of Jalen Waddle, Debo. I don't know if I'd put him ahead of T. Higgins. Am I crazy?
No, I have him down there, wide receiver 21. I have guys like Drake London, Deontay Johnson, Gabe Davis ahead of him, like you mentioned, Waddle, Higgins. Yeah, he's down there for me, and he's dropping slowly because you're getting Travis Etienne more involved in the passing game. You got James Robinson, you got Zay Jones, which is starting to get going again too. Been hurt, but he's one of those relevant guys. And you got Marvin Jones there. So I think teams are starting to shut down Christian Kirk as they did, was that last week, 2 weeks ago? Looking at his fantasy numbers, he had 1 point last week. So each week now, the last 3 weeks, he's kind of, he started out big week 2. He's at almost 20, 13, 6, and then 1. So he's slowing down drastically.
Yeah.
So, unless something starts going, I do like him, but he's got to step it up a little bit. So let's see what happens when Zay Jones does come back. Maybe that pulls some heat off of Kirk. But yeah, rest of the season, I do have him down outside my top 20.
I don't care how mediocre Russell Wilson is. I'm keeping Cortland Sutton in my top 12. Am I delusional?
No, not at all. Sutton's his go-to. That's pretty much it. KJ Hamler, I think, wants to fight Russell Wilson. Did you see how open he was?
Oh, he was so mad.
He was pissed. But yeah, I do have I have Sutton as in my top 12 as well. So I like him ahead of guys like Mike Evans, Mike Williams, Jalen Waddle. So
yeah. Okay. All right. Going down the list here. I've been talking about him, and I'm kind of like selfishly talking about these guys because I have a lot of them on my team. But Garrett Wilson, rest of the season I think he's going to be somewhere like a Drake London. I have him right near, Drake London, Chris Olave. Is that crazy?
I'm way higher on Drake London than you are.
Okay.
I have Drake London in my top 20 rest of the season.
Okay.
I got Wilson. I got Wilson basically around that area of like a Curtis Samuel, DeAndre Hopkins, Romeo Dubes. So as my, top 35-ish. So
okay,
I'm a little bit more higher on Drake than you are.
Okay. If I want Garrett Wilson. If I have Brandon Cooks, these are the guys I'm trading away to get Garrett Wilson. Brandon Cooks, Deontay Johnson, DJ Moore.
Good luck with DJ Moore. I think you're giving up too much, especially with both. I think both Cooks and who was the other one you mentioned? You said
Deontay
Cooks,
Johnson.
Deontay John. I think both of them. I think that's too much to give up for Wilson because these guys are still getting volume, and I'm not too sure that Garrett Wilson is going to get that volume. You got Elijah Moore back, even though Zach Wilson's back, so you got Elijah Moore there. You got um, Corey Davis, and then you got now you got the emergence of Brees Hall. I'm not sure that we're going to see the kind of production. I think we're going to see like games like we saw last week where he didn't do much of anything last week, right? I mean, he had 8 fantasy points, he had 53 reception yards, but only 3 catches. So, I mean,
how about these metrics here, courtesy of Football Guys. All right, almost 98%. He's in the top 98% in fantasy points on 3rd and 4th downs. He's in the top 85% in fantasy points in the red zone, top 80% in fantasy points from the goal line. He's in the top 90% in targets in the league. He's in the top 80% in receiving yards and receptions. Like, I think Zach Wilson keeps feeding the ball.
Yeah, I just don't think that he's going to see as much volume as those other 2 guys. That's why I do like Deontay Johnson, even though he's not getting those double-digit targets like he's used to with Kenny Pickett, because you're going to see a lot more.
We know he has it though.
Yeah, exactly. And then same with Brandon Cooks. I mean, yeah, he's dropping a little bit, but he's still seeing those double-digit targets, and he's pretty much the only guy there. So. There's no demand, and there's nobody taking his targets away. So, and the Jets, I think, are a legit team. I mean, they look good. They got the weapons now on offense. Where the Texans, we can honestly say that this team is going to play from behind almost every single game, and that's just going to benefit. That means more volume for Cooks moving forward. So I do think that Cooks for Wilson is a little much in my eyes.
Who said that?
Hey, damn. Fuck. I'm gonna guess.
But then he said Clayton. Or the whole Jamaica Leafs. He said it.
I'm trying to see.
That's funny.
It's not loading. Rude, whoever that is. Probably not
hey.
friends. I'm not probably friends with any of them.
No,
well, Curtis just got on, so maybe it was Curtis that was.
Anyways, really quick.
No,
so let's play a game. Let's bet. Let's make a bet.
It was Curtis.
Let's make a bet.
What's the bet?
I'm taking Garrett Wilson rest of the season.
Okay.
You give me 2 players. Okay, I'm gonna give you players, and you tell me if you can bet against it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'd say Garrett Wilson over Tyler Lockett rest of the season.
I'll take Lockett.
Really?
Yep. It's close.
I should have started lower because it is.
Well, no,
close.
the only reason I say it's close. I mean, I have them.
Okay. No, let me go far,
7
and then
spots.
I'll move closer.
Okay.
I'll take Garrett Wilson over Michael Thomas rest of the season.
I would too.
Okay, I'll take Garrett Wilson over Adam Thielen rest of the season.
Close, but still, I would too. But it's close.
I'll take Garrett Wilson over. I guess we're going back to Deontay Johnson.
I'll take that. I'll take that bet.
Okay, so what's a bet?
You tell me. You want to make a bet? You don't just bring a bet to the table and then just not say, what are we betting for? Damian Pierce finished top 6 in rushing. Yeah, based on
bold.
It's definitely bold, but if we continue to see what he's doing, definitely think.
Sorry, we got to say this because this is also an audio podcast. So one of our listeners in the Facebook private group said, "I bet Damian Pierce finishes the top 6 in rushing." It's bold. It's not crazy. All right, so the bet is.
And Curtis also says that he would take a bag of chips over Michael Thomas for rest of the season.
All right. So I'm picking Garrett Wilson, and you're picking Deontay Johnson.
Yeah.
If Garrett Wilson finishes ahead of Deontay Johnson starting week 6, right?
Then, rest of the season. Yeah.
Anybody listening, help me think of a good bet. I will bet you. I'm trying to think of something that my wife won't get mad at me if I do lose. I have to do.
Eat that hot chip. Do that hot chip challenge, buddy. Is that still a thing down there? Is that still a thing down there?
Yeah.
I just saw one in one of our stores actually for the first time. They're like
Really?
$15. Yeah. You can't do that. You don't like spicy stuff.
Fantasy points. How about this? Oh, I can't do that. God, I'm thinking of all kinds. Okay, so one of the things was that you have to eat a hot dog for every fantasy point that Garrett Wilson beats Deontay Johnson by.
What am I? That what's his name? Chestnut dude? I'm not doing that.
And you're not. Oh, okay, we'll think about it.
How about this? However many fantasy points you have to put how many dogs in a blender and drink them?
No, we're talking about it could be
fucking disgusting, man.
I'm not drinking.
Okay, 10 hot dogs. You got to put 10 hot dogs in a blender and drink it.
Just straight hot dogs?
With the fucking wiener water.
That's really bad. I can't do that.
Disgusting.
That would be disgusting. That would be disgusting.
Bet, Dale, how confident are you?
I'm not that confident. I ate a pickled milkshake once, and I gagged. I couldn't imagine.
Drinking hot dog will kill you. Curtis doesn't like the idea.
He doesn't
want us to die.
Just because of that, I think I'm going to do it. Just because somebody.
We're going to drink hot dog. Okay.
Okay. How about one hot dog blended with like no, it has to be 2 hot dogs. 2 hot dogs,
okay.
And a cup of orange juice.
Okay, done.
2 hot dogs and a cup of orange juice.
Yeah, okay, done.
Okay. And you have to finish it.
And you got to do it live.
Can they be cooked? They're cooked hot dogs, right?
Cooked hot dogs, yeah.
Okay. You're gonna hate that when you have to drink that stuff.
That's disgusting. I've all of a sudden become a huge Deontay Johnson fan again.
Yeah, all of a sudden I'm really I'm gonna get a Garrett Wilson jersey and everything.
A cup of OJ. Curtis is disgusted by us right now.
So 1 cup of orange juice and 2 hot dogs blended up.
Perfect.
And go Jets. All right. Anything else, man?
No, that's it. Why don't we try to get on again sooner rather than later?
Hey, I'm gonna fart. Tell me if you can hear it. Did you hear it?
Yes, Dale, I did.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, Curtis, did you hear it? I know Curtis is still on. I wonder if you heard it. Who's your favorite rookie this year? I'm gonna stay with the Jets. Breece Hall.
Yeah, I see. I'm going my Texans. I love Dameon Pierce. I liked him right when they drafted him. I was excited. Hey, how do you like that logo, Dale? Lift the Cup Fantasy.
Nice. We should probably redo that. It's hard to read on here. We got to make it a little different, right? Is Lift the Cup Fantasy Hockey? Is it still going? Is it going?
Yeah. Nice. He's been, his YouTube channel is blowing up. So for all you fantasy hockey fans there, jump over there, Lift the Cup Fantasy on YouTube.
Clayton,
there you go,
stop.
Dale.
There's no fantasy hockey.
Oh, hockey's starting, baby. Right at this week.
Nobody plays fantasy hockey. Do you even play fantasy hockey?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay. Of course. Maybe should I get into it just to get into hockey?
Absolutely.
Do you have an opening in one of your leagues?
If you can help me co-manage, how about that?
Mine's is Dameon Pierce too. I think he could finish higher than Hall this year.
Agreed, Curtis. That's from Curtis.
Man, it's close. I think Pierce and Hall are going to be back to back. I really, really do. I think now to the end of the season, I think their opportunity is so similar. They're both on like bottom, bottom 25% of the league. So but neither of them are going to have a ton of opportunity to score.
And they're both going to get a large amount of volume, and in both the running game and the pass catching. So
yeah, no, I agree. That's interesting. Lift the Cup Hockey Fantasy Hockey. Make sure you check them out. Make sure you check Fantasy Football from Up North. I know Clayton didn't really bring anything to the show today, but if you go on a Fantasy Football from Up North, all kinds of facts. That's all he does. He's just like rattling off facts, stats, and stuff I never heard of. So if you guys want to hear that, make sure you check out. He has some backfield more to himself. I mean, that's true too. Damian Pierce has more ownership of that backfield for sure than Brees. We'll see. I mean, it's a good argument. I can't disagree with that. Fantasy Football from Up North, Eat Sleep Fantasy. EatSleepFantasy.com is a website you can check out at Eat Sleep FF on Twitter. We are also on YouTube, Facebook private group, the Eat Nation private group. I traded 4 Hall in my main league. Good idea. I like Brees Hall a lot. All right. That it, man?
That's it. Hopefully we get back on very soon.
So when they put the rod in me, when they had to take out the stent, they put this numbing cream on me first, right? I was like, that's not too bad. But it just wasn't like on me. The nurse shoved it in me. Yeah.
Yikes.
So she had to get the numbing cream down in my pee hole.
Oh.
And that really stung. And I was like, and she's like, oh, the doctor will be here in a minute to put the rod all the way up you.
Don't kidney stones only happen to like old people, man?
No, I mean, they just form, and a lot of times you just pass them. But mine were too big to pass, so that's why
you were hurting. I do got to say that you were hurting.
It was bad. Anyways, all right, guys, we will be back more and more often. Sorry for my absence, but it doesn't really matter. I probably would have helped you anyways. So, anything else you want to say, Clayton?
No, let's get back going with
this is fun.
More episodes, buddy. I missed it.
I mean, we'll probably see you mid-December.
Yeah, that's about it.
We'll see you around Christmas.
For a special holiday edition.
Yeah. Stay tuned for our Christmas Eve special. All right, guys. I appreciate y'all. We love you. I love you, Clayton.
Later, buddy.